Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new stream, guys. And today it's a very special day because it's also a brand new gear, okay? It's all set up newly. It's a much better camera, which should give you a much better viewing experience in my studio here. I hope you can get it. Yeah, a couple of things first. So as you can see, it's more wide, so I look like I have really long hands. No paper hands, only diamond hands here. So this is for once. Second, please appreciate and thumbs up for this t-shirt, guys, okay? Lehman Brothers Risk Department 2008. I love that. And obviously the small spaceship by Virgin Galactic here. Soon we will take off together, guys, and we'll see a brand new all-time high. I think I have to hide my... Yes, I need to hide my head, and then you can see and appreciate the beauty of this spaceship, okay? Let me know, guys, in the comments if the quality gets better. It must be better because the camera is much better. Then, well, let me just put this back. Then, obviously, we have Tesla Sundays, and I don't know if you have already seen the latest episode of Tesla Sundays. This would be this one here. This is the one. Elon Musk teasing Tesla stock to the moon 4 hours ago. Check it out if you want the whole brand new vlog about Tesla, and obviously in the usual Tesla situation here on a Sunday, so Tesla Sundays obviously. But I also want to emphasize you to smash that like button and follow me on Instagram, guys, and on Twitter as well, okay? On Twitter you can follow me. Let me just show you the address. On Twitter it's Wolf Investing. It's the blue ticker symbol here, so check it out. Yeah, let me welcome some people here. So we have people from Waikiki in Hawaii. Wow. We have people from Germany. We have people from Naples Island, Long Beach. We have people from Utah watching, Charlie. We have people here from Central New Jersey. We have people from Fort Lee. Then we are having UK and Hackensack. Okay, so quite international as always. Canada as well. That's amazing. So let's get to the butter, guys. We came here for the juice, so let me give you the juice. Norway, Puerto Rico, and Denmark is just joined as well. Thank you very much for that. Let's dive in first to see what we can see on the Tesla chart to emphasize what could happen to the stock next week. All right, so obviously when you're going into the Tesla chart, you will see that it's currently in the very neutral position. You can see here that we outbroke the downtrend that was, somewhere hitting the roof here at 660, and then escaped it. Okay, I hope I made it clear. So it escaped here. Let me, let me draw it again. That's not an issue at all. So let's have a look. So here we had the obvious downtrend. Okay, the stock bounced off here, went up, bounced off here, went down, further down here. This was an exciting moment for Tesla bears. This one here. Okay, let me see how I can, here. This was an important moment here, a very bearish sign always when the stock crosses the 50 moving average. And since then, you know, the stock went just steeper into red, and then until the lowest that we have seen for a while was here, right? At 532, right? So this was what we have seen in the lowest. Then we recovered a little bit, hitting again this roof of this trend, and then slightly tried, you know, being very close to this rooftop here, and then exited with the delivery numbers, yeah, which is fantastic, obviously. I mean, this is a great sign. Now it's a kind of in a delirium because of the following situation. You will see that here you have the 50 moving average. Okay, I don't know if this will look like that or a little bit higher, but just to extend this line. And then the red line here is basically the 200 moving average. All right, a little bit more steady. Now, what will be important, and here you can see, let me make this in maybe bluish here. You can see that it's basically in the middle. So there's basically the same space between the upper and down part of the Bollinger Band. And the question will be now, if the stock within great news and great you know, milestone of the company, which could be the earnings, okay? And the earnings, guys, is, let us use a little bit of pink. The earnings should be sometimes here, okay? Sometimes between end of April and beginning of May. This will be a very, very, very important time for Tesla, because this will determine if the stock, right, I will use black now, will further go, and then maybe with great earnings, right, will exit here. And this, you know, this exactly same as here, if we cross again the 50 moving average, this is a very bullish sign, okay? So it's all really depending on the earnings season as of this moment, because there's nothing else that is short term. Oh, there's actually, the chat is just saying equanimity. I hope I said it right. He said it's 26th of April. It's confirmed, okay? So you can see here that 26th of April will be very, very important for Tesla, which is, let me just quickly see which day it is. It is basically Monday in 2 weeks, okay? 26th of April. Monday in 2 weeks, we will know how the Tesla stock will perform, and then you will see what kind of situation there's. But on the other side, now talking as a bear concept, if the numbers will be disappointing, then we might test again these levels here, okay? 500 something, all right? So it will be quite interesting, guys. It stays very, very focused now. I think for the next couple of 2 weeks, it can move just sideways. Maybe even through the anticipation, we move higher here and then have another shoot and cross the 50 moving average. That would be great. But as you can see, 26th of April would be very, very important, okay? And and there's another comment just right now by Derek Kulahan, and he said that Tesla has failed several times to hold over 700. When it does, it will keep heading towards 800. And exactly what you're saying, you can see here, right? I mean, the 700 mark is somewhere here. So exactly where is the 50 moving average, more or less. So what you said is exactly right, because it would be very, very important to close the day over 700 and then 720 and so on and so forth. Okay, you get the point. So that's from a perspective from the chart technique only. Yeah. David Stopp says, can earnings be bad considering the great deliveries? Well, there is a couple of things, okay? But the most important thing for earnings in general is always what is expected. Now that we know delivery numbers, the expectations are quite high. The expectation rose over the next couple of days. So this means that, yes, there's very high expectation. Those need to be beaten, and then we should see great positivity, right? I mean, there's always the question, can expectation be beaten? Okay, and maybe this is what Elon Musk is teasing on Twitter with going to the moon. But maybe he means, shooting Dogecoin up with the Starship. I don't know. Is the worry over inflation the main cause of the suppression of the stock prices in the tech sector? Yeah, this plus the result of that, okay? Because usually inflation will be beaten by the Fed with rising rates. And rising rates was in the 90s, in the 2000s, and in 2008 a very, very important factor for the market turmoils, or let's say market crashes. Okay, so I'm following this. I actually made a video a couple of weeks ago where I said, I'm not afraid about many things on the market, but one specific point is rising rates, which the Fed usually don't do till 2023, so everything can further go. And then now we have the inflation coming up a little bit, right? The Fed is not doing that much, let the market cool down a bit, which I like. So that's pretty much what's happening, okay? And it's hurting growth stocks and stocks that specifically went up significantly over the last couple of months, okay? So that's why, and that's what you actually see here. That's from the perspective of the chart. Now, there's obviously a couple of other things that we will dive into the stream. But just after you smashed the like button and followed me, obviously, on Instagram, Wolf of Dubai Danny, don't forget that. And let me know in the comments, in the chat, where you are watching from, okay? I want to dive with you quickly to Elon Musk tweets, because there's a couple of very, very important stuff that is happening. And actually, Randy in the chat is asking a very good question. Randy is asking, Danny, will the Boring Company benefit Tesla? If so, in what way? Well, I don't know if you saw the recent presentation by the Boring Company, but it was insane. Let me Let me see if I can pull that out. Let me quickly see. So I think it's that one here. Let us just make sure that I hear it as well by putting in my headphones. And you guys see it as well. So this is the video on CNBC that was actually presented a couple of days ago, which was insane. I mean, what they built there is huge, okay? And now to go back to Randy's question, if this will help Tesla, let me play you this video and you can decide by yourself, all right? One sec.
As you descend the escalator into the loop station, you see the Teslas waiting to whisk you into a tunnel 43 feet below ground. Now, you might think, all right, it's like a subway. But this is more like a highway underground. And because it's Las Vegas, this is also a thrill ride. The Las Vegas Convention Center loop is part thrill ride, part light and sound show, but mostly just a commute across a sprawling convention center.
If there's a show going on and you've got a lot of traffic in the convention center, it can be a 45-minute walk from one end to the other.
The loop gets you there in less than 2 minutes. Here's how it works. You enter the station and call for a Tesla.
The system operates like an Uber or a Lyft, where you have an app on your phone, you say, I'm here.
Okay. So this is the first part of the video where they explain what's going on. So you have this convention center, which is quite big, all right? Then you are having Teslas bringing you from one station to another station, and there's still drivers inside, but you're actually calling it like a Uber, and this will bring you from one end to the other. So think about it. Millions of people are test driving this for once. Second, some people, will experience the Tesla for the first time and might buy one. Third, these stations will be obviously, expanded. And, just the image and branding is, I think, what will really, 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 really be big in this case, okay? Because, to be very honest, those 100 cars, doesn't really move the numbers for Tesla, okay? But the branding and this achievements that they did this tunnel system for, I think, $53 million, unbelievable, okay? Unbelievable, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So let's have a look further.
I want to go there. Car comes up, has an identifier on it that matches with what is on the app on your phone.
Passengers don't have to make multiple stops because there are multiple exits. You go directly to your station of choice. The convention center has 3, but plans are in the works to build a loop system citywide. I'm looking right now. I mean, there's the Ferris wheel. There's the new Sphere under construction. The stadium is out there somewhere waiting to be used. Are you saying that eventually this loop is going to connect people from the airport to downtown to the stadium and everywhere in between?
It will, and that eventually is not that far away.
Construction on this loop was completed in 2 years for a cost of less than $53 million, including the stations. It's designed to handle 4,400 people an hour with 62 cars. Right now, with drivers, but soon they'll be autonomous. And what happens in Vegas? Likely
Stays in
won't
Vegas.
stay in Vegas.
Any place that has congestion issues needs to move people and really can't just keep expanding roadways. Is going to want to look at a system like this because it really makes a difference.
Look, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, D.C. to Baltimore, hey, Los Angeles to Las Vegas, that's a 4-hour plus drive that stretches into a 9-hour parking lot on some days. All of this is under consideration for a loop. In Las Vegas, more than 40 destinations have raised their hand saying, yep, we want a station, we'll build it. They're thinking, if you build it, they will come.
And I bet they will.
So you got the idea, and I think this is the really important part about this, that you seeing this absolutely great marketing by Tesla. Also here, you know, the Tesla X in the back, and yeah, I mean, fantastic. So I hope this answers your question, Randy. If you have any questions, chat, let me know and we will dive into it. Do we have someone from Vegas here in the chat? If so, let me know, and we want to hear that you are going there the next days and checking it out, if it's already open for public, okay? Obviously, this is the condition. Otherwise, it's a little bit hard. Yeah, next on the list, I would love to go into the Elon Musk Twitter account, which is always fun. Meanwhile, 50.5 million followers, guys, which is about a seventh of US, right? And yeah, so I always not only look at his tweets itself, but yeah, it's just it's just his tweets and replies, because there's such more content. Okay, so he answers a little bit about the space link. So this is not that much Tesla, not space link. What is Starlink? Sorry, Starlink was the right name for it. Then he says a little bit about the about the simulation. Then he talks a little bit about cyberpunk. Then he talks a couple of very interesting things about FSD, which okay, that's also quite interesting. Since this Guardian writer has recycled the super uninformed claim, we ought to be spending the money on Earth instead. It is now time to recycle the unformed responses. Hardly any money is spent on space, e.g. the US spends 4 times as much on tobacco as on space, okay? So maybe this is also interesting for our space community, so I will just dive into that. US consumers spend 5 times more on credit card interest and fees as we spend on NASA. Every year, the US spends 1.77 trillion on retail food, and about 30 to 40% is thrown away, which is equal to 31 times the amount we spend on NASA. Third, every year, the US spends 12.5x as much on alcoholic drinks as we do on NASA, and 77% of that is for binge drinking. In other words, the US spends 10 times as much on binge drinking as we do on NASA. NASA makes you feel better in the morning, by the way. Good point, Dr. Phil. Further, from medical advances to weather observation capabilities, pure science, fluid dynamics, electronics, computing, on and on. This will continue throughout Artemis, Mars explanation, etc. One of the countless examples, a ventricular assist device, okay, whatever this is. Maybe something with the heart, maybe. Number 6. Here is a 2013 report given an overview of socio-economic benefits of NASA. Check the full 26-page report for details. Obviously, we will not do that, but definitely it's something that's doing well for the economy as well, right? The space program makes you safer than you know. The potential of weapons in space is destabilizing and could result in a nuclear war. The Outer Space Treaty tries to prevent that, but it is a weak treaty. It allows any country to get out with just 1 year notice. That was the strongest treaty we could negotiate with the Soviet Union in the 1950s. So any country who thinks they will get an advantage by putting nukes in space can send a letter to the Hague, and 1 year later they can do so legally or claim territory on the moon, etc. So the US civilians program, NASA, is intended to make the Outer Space Treaty stronger. The idea is that we prove our strong capability in space year by year without end, so no hostile country will think they can gain military advantage by withdrawing from the treaty. Yeah, so that's a fantastic description, actually. I leave it to you if you want to finish it or not, because we are diving too much into the space scene right now. But let's have a look. That was also very interesting. So he was really diving into one user here that said, you know, or Elon Musk went actually into the let's say comparison of radar and vision. So he said, for example, when radar and vision disagree, which one do you believe? Vision has much more precision, so better to double down on vision than do sensor fusion. Sensors are a bit stream, and cameras have several orders of magnitude more bits per second than radar or LiDAR. That's why they don't want to use that for autopilot. Radar must meaningfully increase signal noise of bit stream to be worth complexity of integrating it. As vision processing gets better, it just leaves radar far behind. So you can imagine, imagine the radar is like a laser that we don't see, and it goes to an object and it bounces back. And it's basically one dot or many dots that are coming back. But you can imagine that, this need to be constantly done, and still you don't see things like shadows, for example, are very, very important, right? I mean, if we are watching things, you can basically tell by the shadow how it stands and so on. So this is very, very difficult for radar or laser technology, and that's why vision is here much better. And Tesla actually rewrote the whole thing with the team because they took the analysis of the input by picture or picture by picture, and then they actually changed that to create, a kind of moving input. So they created this video, because sometimes you see an object that it's basically moving and you want to know which direction it's moving and so on. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much from that's a great meme here. Bitcoin versus Ethereum, and then Dogecoin and King Kong and Godzilla runs away. Yeah, what else? This is a very nice Reddit here as well. Here you have Tesla investors. I don't know if you know it, but you should know it if you are a Tesla investor, because this is a very, very important Reddit here. You can see here that people are discussing. Let us see if there's anything interesting here. Tesla semis ordered for use by Canadian lodging company in all-electric truck hauling pilot. Okay. Asset have tanked at 2 of the world's biggest short sellers. Let's have a look into that. Breaking. Giga Shanghai expanding even more on the east side, north of the road. Okay. That's quite interesting. It's a little bit loud. Why it's closed? Okay, it's so Giga 2 in China is quite expanding quite rapidly, which is great, right? I mean, this is what Elon Musk said in the recent investor call or earnings call, and I'm looking forward too much to this next call. He actually said that he want to have another gigafactory. He want to have Terra factories, so just to imply bigger factories, right? So it will be a bigger factory, or even expanding factory in Germany, expanding factory in the US, and so on and so forth. So Tesla delivers insane number of electric cars in China. We know that already as well. Yeah, this will be quite interesting as well, how the auto gross margin will be. It will be also interesting because you saw that many Ys were sold, many 3s were sold in Europe and China, but none of the high margin X, S, as well as the new refreshments, right? So that might temporarily bring down the gross margins temporary. Okay, just you understand. Who owns Tesla? That's quite interesting for sure as well. Yeah, that's pretty much what you see here in the internet or on Reddit. Obviously a lot of videos that we know. Oh, this was quite interesting as well, guys, so check it out. That was also one category into the Tesla Sundays vlog today. So let's have a look what those news were actually out there, saying that asset tanked at 2 of the world's biggest short sellers. Jim Chanos Associates and Jim got much smaller in 2020 according to the new regulatory filings. Okay. Chanos, arguably the most well-known short seller in the world and also big short seller of Tesla, lost more than 50% of its asset last year. Kinokos ended 2020 with about 405 million in regulatory asset under management, down from around 932 million in the prior year, according to annual ADV fillings and the Security Exchange Commission. The long bull market has punished Chanos for years. In 2018, when institutional investor profiled him, Kynikos, which is the fund of Chanos, ran just under $2 billion, having already lost almost 3/4 of his assets since the financial crash of 2008, when it ran 7 billion. So from 7 billion to 405 billion, that is a job well done. Not Mr. Chanos, okay? But yeah, that's what is happening, right? I mean, if you are shorting the future, then this kind of things happening, and people are actually happier on the other side here, like Elon Musk and his favorite dance in the Gigafactory in China. Guys, make sure to smash the like button if you like the live stream today. I highly appreciated that you are joined, and yeah, if you want more, there's more links into the description, and I see you obviously tomorrow for a brand new earnings packed week here on Wolf of Dubai. Have a nice evening, stay safe and healthy.